Okay, so we're going to get started with 1.1. Today we're focusing on what do different comparisons of quantities tell you about their relationships. So, as a ratio, a comparison of two quantities expressed with a phrase such as the ratio of 3 to 8, which means 3 for every 8. Such ratios comparisons are often written as common fractions in the special notations. So 3 of every 8 can be written as a fraction, 3 over 8. It can be written 3 to 2 8, and it can be written 3 colon 8. They all mean the same thing. They're just written in different notations. Or it can be also said as you can compare parts to parts, or you can compare parts to a whole. So in part A, there are 4 statements about testing cola and the results, and we're gonna look at the different statements about them. For one, it says, in a taste test, people who preferred Bolda Cola outnumbered those who preferred Cola Nola by a ratio of 17,139 to 11,429. Oh, and 26, thank you. In statement 2, it says, in a taste test, 5,713 more people preferred Bolda Cola. In statement 3, in a taste test, 60,000 of the people preferred Bolda Cola. 60%. In statement 4, in a taste test, people who preferred Bolda Cola outnumbered those who preferred Cola Nola by a ratio of 3 to 2. So we're going to be looking at those when we answer these next questions. It says, based on these statements, how many people were surveyed? Aiden? Yeah, yep, you can use calculators on these. I'll give you a minute to grab your calculators. Once you get your calculators, look over question 1. These statements, how many people were surveyed? How can we determine how many people were surveyed out of those 4 statements? You sure on that one? On the answer? How did you get that?
I added big numbers on the top.
And that gave you it? All right. I'll give you another minute to get your answers for question 1. All right, what is the amount of people surveyed in this? How many people were surveyed? Isabel?
28,565.
28,500. Oops, I was writing it wrong. 28,565. How did you get that?
I added 6,139 and 11,000.
Yeah. In statement 1, they stated that people who preferred Bolda Cola outnumbered those who preferred Cola Nola by a ratio of 17,139 to 11,426. So we can simply add these to get our answer of 28,565. In question 2, it says, which of the above statements do you think would be the best in an advertisement for Bolda Cola and why? So we're looking for the best advertisement just for Bolda Cola. I will give you about 2 minutes to work with your shoulder partners to find which statement is the best for advertisement. So for question 2, which statement did you find the best? Elena?
We got 3. We thought that showing 60% is greater than 40%. She said that that was probably the easiest way to for people to see that, like, yeah, to understand and see that the cola more people liked it.
Yeah. So statement number 3, statements 2 and 3 are true. But statement number 3, stating that it's as a taste test, 60% of those people preferred Bolda Cola is easier to relate to. When you say Bolda Cola, 60% of them liked it, well then we know the other 40% liked Cola Nola. That's easier for us to compare and relate to. We can just look at that bigger percentage and see how many. So in question 3 it says, in the taste test, blank percent preferred Cola Nola. Well, we just went over this in question 2. What percentage liked Cola Nola? Blake? 40%. 40%. And how did you figure that out?
60% liked Cola.
Yes. So 60% liked Bolda Cola. So out of 100%, that left us with the other 40%. Exactly. Question 4. What fraction of people preferred Bolda Cola? How many preferred Bolda Cola over... Yeah. 3 over 2. Okay. Any other options? Any other fractions? What'd you say? 6 over 10. Okay. How did you get those?
On statement 4 that it's Bolda Cola outnumbered those people who prefer Cola by a ratio of 3 to 2. So that.
Okay, so let's create our own fraction. How many people preferred Bolda Cola? It says in statement 1, what ratio preferred Bolda Cola over the total?
17,130.
Yeah. So in statement 1, it says people who preferred Bolda Cola outnumbered those who preferred Cola Nola by the ratio of 17,139 to 11,426, which means the people that preferred Bolda Cola is 17,139. Well, how many people was that out of? I'm sorry? 28? Yeah, 28,565. That is out of our total amount of people. So 17,139 Bolda Cola people out of our total number of people that were surveyed, which can be simplified down to what? 3/5. Which would be our fraction for people who preferred Bolda Cola. Suppose you surveyed 1,000 cola drinkers. What numbers of Bolda Cola and Cola Nola drinkers would you expect? Explain your reasoning. I will give you about 3 minutes to work with your shoulder partners to figure out what number of Bolda Cola and Cola Nola drinkers would you expect if you have a total number surveyed of 1,000. Okay? About 3 minutes. Question 5. Who found the number of Bolda Cola and Cola Nola drinkers? Elena.
So Bolda Cola was 600 people and 400 people for Cola Nola. And we found it out by looking at the percent, because it says that in the taste test 60% of the people preferred Bolda Cola. So we took 60% and got the ratio, and we got ended up getting like 600 people. And we got 16, and we added the 0 because it was 1,000 Cola drinkers, and then 400 because it was 40%. for the Illinois, so then you want, otherwise it would be 100.
Right.
We added the 0 to the 0 to 100.
Right.
Altogether, it got 1,400 girls.
Okay, awesome. So, like Elena was saying, she got 600 people for the Colanola. We know that because in our, statement 3, it says in a taste test, 60% of those people preferred Colanola. Or, yeah, Bolda Cola. Wow, those are similar. So, 60%, that's out of 100%. So, if we're doing this out of 1,000, you found that 60% would be 60, but since we're working with 1,000, you added an extra 0, right? And then the difference, because you need 1,000, would be 1,000 minus 600, which gave them the Colanolas at 400 people. Let's move on to the next page in part B. Students at Nielsen Middle School are planning an end-of-the-year event. Of the 150 students in the school, 100 would like an athletic event, and 50 would like a concert. All right, so in question 1, it says, what is the ratio of students who prefer an athletic event to those who prefer a concert? So we're looking for a ratio. How many preferred athletic and how many preferred over the amount that preferred a concert? The numbers are stated right above for us. How many more preferred athletic event over the concert? Well, if we have 150 students in the school, 100 preferred the athletic event to the 50 that preferred the concert. That's one way we can write it. Because this is a ratio, we have 3 different ways we can write it. We could also write it as 100 over 50. And lastly, we could also write it as 100 to 50. Any of these forms would be the proper way to write it. In statement 2, it says, describe whether each statement below accurately reports the results of Nielsen Middle School survey, and explain your reasoning. So we need to figure out whether A, B, C, D, and F are true, and why. For A, it says, at the school, 1/3 of the students prefer a concert to an athletic event. Okay, so we're looking for the percent that prefer a concert over the athletic event. So we're looking at the concert over how many total? Sorry, what was that? Yeah, 1/3. How did you get 1/3? How many in the concert?
That's how I got 1/3.
Where does it say that?
At A, it says that.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Robert.
Yeah, it does. So, we got 1/3 because concert is 50.
Yeah.
And the total people, how many total people are there? How many total students? 150. So if we were to simplify this, what does it simplify to? 1/3, which is the true statement that 1/3 of the students prefer a concert. So yes, because 50 over 150 simplifies to 1/3. For B, students prefer an athletic event to a concert by a ratio of 2 to 1. So they want an athletic event to a concert, which also can be written as a fraction like this. So if I can plug numbers in, what can I plug in here to figure out whether this is true or not? How many prefer the event? Leiden? 100. And then how many prefer the concert? Blake? 50. So if I were to simplify this, I would get 2 over 1, which could be stated as 2 colon 1, which also could be stated like the ratio in the question, 2 to 1. So yes, all of these forms are correct. So yes, because 1 is half of 2, just like 50 is half of 100. For C, you okay? You want to drink water? For C, the ratio of students who prefer a concert to students who prefer an athletic event is 1 to 2. 1 to 2, or 1 over 2, 1 colon 2. So how would we determine that? Yeah. So they're saying concert to an event, which is, what did you say, Robert? 50 over 100. Thumbs up. Does everyone see how we got that? Yeah? So if we were to simplify 50 over 100, it is 1/2, or I can write it like they did in the question, 1 colon 2. So yes, this statement is also true because 50 is half of 100, and 1 is half of 2. For D, the number of students who prefer an athletic event is 50 more than the students who prefer a concert. What? So is it true? It says 50 athletic event is 50 more than the students who prefer a concert. Well, how many prefer the event? Event equals 100. It says 50 more than those who prefer a concert. Well, how many prefer a concert? 50. So looking at this, is there 50 more students who prefer the event over the concert? Yes. We don't even have to do our work like before. Because 100 would be 50 more than 50. Last one. At Nielsen Middle School, 50% of the students prefer a concert to an athletic event. 50% of the students prefer a concert over an athletic event. So they're saying they're looking at the concert over the total people. So is that 50%? No. What is this fraction? How could I piece this together? Anthony, what would I get?
You get 30, well, you'd get 1/3 or 30 repeat.
Right. So how would I piece this together? How did you get 1/3?
1/3 would be 50%.
50 over
100.
150. And you simplified that to be 1/3, right? So if I get that as a percentage, what is 1/3 as a percentage, Blake? 1 divided by 3? 33, yeah. Oh, 3. When you do 1 divided by 3, you would get 0.3 repeating as a decimal. 0.3 repeating, which really means like 0.3333. So if I move it as a fraction, I'm going to move my decimal 2 places, and I would get 33%. Well, is that 50% like they asked in the question? No. Because 50, which is the number of students that wanted the concert, is not 50% of 150. Last part for C. It says, use the Nielsen Middle School survey results above. Suppose you survey the students here at Iroquois. How might you predict the number of students who prefer an athletic event to a concert? Well, we're working with a total of, at Iroquois, 1,200 students. If we asked 1,200 students, what would we get? I'll give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Does that sound okay? To figure out the number of students that we would get. Okay, for part C. For part C, what do we know? We know that how many students prefer the concert? What percentage or fraction? We stated it above. How many prefer the concert? 33%. 33%. I'm sorry. 33%, or 1/3 prefer concert. So how many prefer the athletic event then? If 1/3 wants the concert, how many want the athletic event? 2/3. 2/3, or that as a percentage would be 67% prefer athletic event. So based on that information, if we have 1,200 students here at Iroquois, how many would prefer the concert? Anthony?
400 students.
Concert here at Iroquois, you said 400. How did you find that?
I divided the 1,200 students by 1/3.
Okay, so you multiplied it. So 1,200 students total, and you knew that 1/3 of them liked or preferred the concert, so you multiplied that, and that gave you 400. And then from there, did you subtract? So we have 1,200 students total, and for him to find the athletic event, how many wanted the athletic event? He did 1,200 minus 400, which is the total that wanted concert, which gave him 800. So athletic event. Thank you. Oops, spelled it wrong. Goodness gracious. Can't spell today. Everyone see how we got that? So based on these notes, our summary, which is on the back page for you, ratios. Compare two quantities, a part over a whole. How do you find a percentage of a number? Well, you take the percentage of a number would be 20% of 126 would be 0.20. Put it as a decimal multiplied by 126. How do you turn a fraction into a decimal? Into a percent? Well, how would we turn that into a percent? If we have a fraction of 5/8, the 5 is our part, and the 8 is our whole, which is our total. So we can simply divide 5 divided by 8 to give us 62.5%. And you can make a prediction about an outcome by comparing ratios from a similar survey, which is what we did in part, what was that, part B? We looked at some predictions and statements that they said, and we figured out whether they were true or not by going through it in part B. So today for homework, I don't have it written on the next slide, so I'll write it on the board for you. It is page 19, numbers 1 through 3 and 5. And since we have our survey thing tomorrow, we won't have this due until Wednesday. So have this ready to check on Wednesday. Page 19, numbers 1 through 3, and question 5.